biologist, how many forms of fishes are there within the ocean?
That is why I'm here.
There are 900,000 of different forms of aquatics. 900,000. Jalaja Navalakhani. Jalaja means a species of living beings born in the water. They are 900,000. How many you have got experience in your biology?
I studied one.
Huh?
I studied one.
One only?
I concentrated on one. I learned of some of the aspects of maybe 1,000.
900,000. Exact number. Bring the socket.
This. But 2 eggs on top of the desk.
Namlakhani Sthavra Lokhavinsati. And 2 millions of trees and plants, botany. Botanical. Jalajana Lakhani Sthavara Lokhavinsati. Krimaya Rudra Sankhaka. Insects. There are 1100,000 forms. Krimaya Rudra Sankhaka. Then Pakshinam Dasalakkakam. From insect they become flies and birds. Pakshinam Dasalakkakam. 1 million. Then from birds the beasts come, 4-legged. Trinshalakhani, 3 million species of beasts. And from beast the human form comes. Either from monkey or from lion or from cow. Out of these 3, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamun, those who are coming through Rajagun, their last birth before human form of birth is lion. And those who are coming in form ignorance, Darwin's father-in-law, monkey, and ignorance. And those who are coming in goodness, the last form of birth is cow. This is our scientific information from the Vedas. We haven't got to make a research. Everything is there. That is Vedic knowledge. They have got already everything written there. Yeah, astronomy, everything is written there. Simply you have to calculate. Astrology, the same. Simply mathematical calculation. If the moon is in this position and the other star is in this position, then the effect will be like this and the result will be like this, like that. So you haven't got to make search or research. It is already there. Similarly, this Darwin's theory is there in two lines. Asiting chaturang chaiva lokhang sthana jiva jati. Brahmadbhi purusai prapyam manusyam janma parjayat. Asiti means 80. Chatura means 4. 80 and 4. Lakhyan, lakhs. 100,000. 84, 100,000. That means 8,400,000. Asiting chaturan shaiva lakhyan stan jiva jatishu. Jiva means living entity. Jati means species. Jiva jatishu. Brahmadvi, the living entity, is wandering or transmigrating from aquatics to trees, plants, then insect, then birds, then bees. In this way, the last is human form of life. Brahmadvi, wandering. Purushai, prapyam, last is getting manasam, jiva, janma purjaya, by the evolution of birth. Now this form is for understanding Govinda, God. The other form, they cannot. So, if in this form the living entity does not contact Govinda, contacting Govinda means surrendering unto Govinda. As Krishna says, surrender unto. Bhavanam janmanam ante jnanavan mankuru. So after many millions of births, when one is actually in full knowledge, he surrenders to Krishna. That is perfection. And then he goes back to home, back to God. That is our program, Krishna consciousness.
So there's something higher than human form?
Oh yes. The demigods, Deva, Tijja, Naradishu. Generally 3 divisions. Demigods, human being, and other than human beings.
Primitive cavemen?
Huh?
Primitive...
No, not only caveman, the animals, the bees, birds, everything. Other than. But this human form of life is better than demigod's life. Because demigods, they are materially very opulent. Just like when the Americans came in India, they thought demigod. Is it not?
Indians thought.
Because they are better looking, good looking, intelligent, powerful. Similarly, just like this controller or director of this rain department is Indra. This thundering, it is under his direction, this thundering is going on. He throws the thunderbolts and cracks the mountain, and then you get chunks. That is his business. As in government there are different departments. Similarly, God has got different departments, and the in charge of that department is a demigod. Creation, Brahma, sustenance or maintenance, himself, Vishnu, and dissolution, Lord Shiva.
How is a human life better than that? How is human life better than demigod?
Better than in this way that just like here also in this on this planet, those who are richer section, they practically do not care to know what is this Krishna consciousness. They are proud, puffed up for material opulence. What is this Krishna consciousness? Let us enjoy, drink. That is their position. So it is a curse for them. Their richness is a curse for them, that they cannot adore such a nice movement. In the middle class section, they are being attracted. Similarly, the demigods, they have got very, very high standard of life, duration of life, beauty, opulence, facilities. So generally they forget. Not forget, they are servant. Just like government, servant. Does not mean a devotee. So they are devotee, officially devotee. They offer their obeisances to Krishna. Shiva Virinchi Nutam, worshipped by Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. But their devotion is conditional, because they are posted in such high post. So they may remain in their post in this way, exchange. But in the human society, you will find devotees, there is no question of exchange. It is simply love.
Are these demigods what has been called angels?
Yes.
So how does science fit in with all of this?
Let him speak.
This is why I'm here. I know science.
So
And
you can.
I know a bit of where it's going, and I don't find it compelling, fulfilling. It is just the empty. It is just simply one half of the world.
Scientist, businesses, he can become a great devotee. Just like idang hi pumsa tapasas sutasava sishtasya suktasya cha buddha dattayo avichito artha kavibi nirupita jad uttama sloka gunanuvarnanam. You sit down. Why you sit down like that? Jad uttama sloka gunanuvarnanam. Idang hi pumsa sutasya tapas Sutasya tapasya. If you are scientist means you have learned scholar, or you know, you have heard from the book so many things. So your duty will be that whatever you have learned, you try to explain all these scientific research work as qualification of the Supreme Law. Any scientific law, just like law of gravity. You are following?
See.
Law of gravity, the big planets are floating in the air. Now, you can explain how this is floating. The hint is already there in the Bhagavad Gita that he enters Vishtobhya aham idam krishnam ekangsena stitu jagat dharoyami aham ojasa, that I enter into this universe and by my prowess they are floating. These hints are there. Now you are a scientist. If you are actually devotee, then you try to explain from your scientific explanation that this floating is possible because God has entered within it. That is your duty. And because you are scientist, your explanation from the scientific point of view, how God has entered, how He is acting, that will be very much well received by the public. So that will be a great service. Actually, that is the fact. It is already stated there. That I enter. We can understand. Yes, we believe. I'll explain. Just like that balloon, what is the gas? Hydrogen gas?
Helium.
Huh?
Helium gas.
Helium gas. So helium gas has entered within the balloon and it is floating. So if the helium gas can float, cannot God float? If helium gas has so much power, and the God is less than helium gas, or is more than helium gas? So what is the difficulty to understand? God says, I entered. Similarly, the helium gas enters, and it makes possible that it floats. So what is the difficulty to understand? I see in my eyes. So he can become big helium gas. Just like Krishna says, Rasoham Apsukantiya, I am the taste of the water. Water is important. We are drinking water for the taste. The taste is Krishna. Similarly, if you explain this law of gravitation, which we have discovered, is Krishna. Prove it by your scientific knowledge. That will be your science. Actually, that is the fact. That is the fact. And you have to explain, just like I give you this example. This is scientific. As you can float a balloon by creating helium gas, so there must be some gas like that. Krishna enters into each and every planet or universe and he floats. That's all. they not only the planets are floating, the universes are also floating. So, do you accept this theory or not? If not, you explain.
I cannot reject it.
That's
because you know more about it than I do.
Thank you.
You are obviously
Yeah, that should be the attitude. That is the way of understanding. Upadamshanti tad jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Those who are tattvadarshi, those who have seen the truth, we have to take knowledge from them. That is direction in the Bhagavad Gita. Not from the third class man. One who has seen, one who has known, you have to take knowledge from him. Tattvadarshi. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sivaya. You have to understand by surrendering, by rendering service, and by question. Three things. You cannot question simply. There must be service and surrender. Then question will be nice. And if all of a sudden you come and question, that answer will not be sufficient. Yes, I am drinking this water because there is taste. At this time, if you give me some other juice, I will not like. I would like to drink water. But there is peculiar taste that will satisfy my thirst. That thirst quenching taste is Krishna. So immediately you can remember Krishna, here is Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Rasoham apsukamtiya. There is no need of seeing Krishna. You can perceive Krishna while drinking water. If you have got such power of perception, and the hints are already there in the Bhagavad Gita. You can argue, where is Krishna? I do not see Krishna. How can I? Krishna says, all right, you try to realize me in this way. While you drink water, you know that taste is myself. So you can see or perceive Krishna while drinking water. So everyone is drinking water. Who cannot perceive Krishna? What is the difficulty? Krishna giving hints. You perceive me like that. And God, at the present moment, God can be seen eye to eye, but He can be perceived. Anubhavananda. What is that word? Parasya. Parasya anubhavatmana. Anubhavatmana. So at the present moment, we can understand God by anubhav. Here is God. A hint is given. God by God. That rasoham apsukamti. The I am the taste of God. You cannot create this taste. You can make water, hydrogen, oxygen mixing, but you cannot create the taste so that water may be taken. Is it possible?
It is possible to make water. I rely on you to say it's not possible to make the test.
That just like from perspiration we are also creating water. That nobody is going to drink that water. Nobody is coming to lick my body. Here is water. That is not possible.
Even if we mix hydrogen and oxygen and get water, still, where does the hydrogen and oxygen?
Yeah, but when the chemical comes, such vast sea water. So, where you got so much chemical? Then the next question is who supplies the chemicals?
I've been there before. It all comes down to the same. It all comes to the same place. You said that it is possible to see God eye to eye.
Yeah,
How can this be done?
we have to be qualified.
How can you be qualified?
This is the process going on in this Krishna consciousness movement. You become devotee, you follow the rules and regulations, the prescribed method, you will see God. You will see constantly, 24 hours. Santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayam premanyana churita bhakti vilochana. If you have developed such devotion and love for God, then you will see always God. Just like if you have got a child whom you very much love, he will see the child always in front of him. Always. It is due to love. So similarly, you have to develop love for Krishna and you will see him. He can be seen by love, not by your method. He is not under any method, but he is under love. So you have to develop love, and then you see, there is no flavor. Is it any flavor?
Very faint. Mexican incense, Christian incense.
Very faint. So all science of God is described in Bhagavad Gita.
This morning you said that Krishna is the original scientist because he is a scientist, then we can have our science.
Yes.
There's a reflection.
Do you accept it? He is the original scientist.
I can't accept the fact that Krishna, being God, created everything which
Yes.
science studies now.
That's it. That is the fact. That is the fact. So, despite my becoming a scientist, I am a subordinate scientist. And my scientific research is going on under the direction of Krishna. Because the experiment which you are making in the laboratory, the ingredients, they are produced from Krishna. The mind with which you are working, that is produced by Krishna. And the direction you are receiving from Krishna. And therefore, when you prepare something that is Krishna's production. Krishna is indirect cause and you are direct cause. The other day while coming in the plane, you told me that they are trying to make copy of the brain of Einstein. So still if you can copy, even if you can copy, you are not the original scientist. Because that brain of Einstein is already created. So original creation is God's. So you can imitate. So you are imitator scientist. Is it not?
It's true.
Who has created the brain of Professor Einstein? You have not created. You are trying to make a Xerox copy. That's all. But the original is already there. Now who has created the original brain? Then you have to go to God. But you have not created. It is not man-made. If man could create such brain, oh, not mine. Professor has died, we create another professor brain. That you cannot. So even if you are able to imitate, you are not the supreme scientist. First of all, it is doubtful. So accepting that you will be able to copy, a Xerox copy of Einstein's brain, that does not give you the credit. The credit is already there, God's credit. At least we shall not give you any credit. We shall speak it. The original brain is created by God. You cannot create. If you have the power to create, then there is no necessity of copying. You could create better brain. That you haven't got. You are trying to take Xerox copy from that brain. Just like big airplanes are flying. But that the shape is made after the bird. The original shape, bird, is created by God. He has got the same type of machine even within an insect, a small insect flying. You can create a small aeroplane like that. That is not possible. Then what is your credit? Here is God's credit. A small fly near water. You create such machine. You can create a big, but you cannot create a small. Therefore, you are incapable. But God can create the biggest and the smallest. Anoruniyang mahatu mahiyang. He can create the greater than the greatest and the smaller than the smallest.
And our big airplane cannot reproduce another airplane.
He cannot create a male aeroplane and female aeroplane so that you haven't got to manufacture the third one. The third one is produced. Why third one? Third millions. And again third millions, another million. That is God's creation. That means He has got different energies. He pushes on one button of one energy and the production goes on. Sa srijata, sa ikhata, these are the Vedic explanations. These energies are so subtle, just like nowadays electronic one television button you press, and thousands of miles away something is happening, you see. So if it is materially possible, it is nothing but exhibition of the energy of the human brain. So if human brain can exhibit such wonderful activities, how much God can? He has got better brain, that's all, or the best brain. If you have got brain, that's all right, but he has got the best brain, Param. Therefore he is called Param Purush, Parameshwar. Param means the best, the supreme. God is like you, like me. He has got also 2 hands, 2 legs, Krishna. But his brain is different. Just like you are scientist, your brain is better than me, or his brain is better than you, and his brain is better than him. In this way go on searching. When you find the brain which has no more better, that is God. That is God. As you are finding out better brain than you, he better than his, he is better than his, he go on researching. When you find out some brain which surpasses everyone, and nobody surpasses him, that is God. This is our definition of God. How can I deny it? We don't accept blindly anyone as God, incarnation of God. We want to see who has got the best brain, who has got the best opulence, who has got the best beauty, who has got the best knowledge, who has got the best strength. And all combined together, if we find in some person, that is God. That we have found in Krishna. Therefore he is God.
But how can I know with my inferior brain who has the best brain?
And that we can understand. Just like you are a scientist man, you can do something which I cannot do. That means I must accept that you have got better brain. What is the difficulty?
But how can I know?
You can know directly that he is doing better than me. What is the difficulty? I can see, just like all my disciples, they are following me. Why? Because they understand that our spiritual master explains about God better than us. Therefore they have surrendered. I am not bribing them. They are not fools. They have got very nice brain to act. So they accept me as the spiritual master brain because they understand me, that he can explain about God better than me. What is the difficulty? All my disciples surrenders unto me because they have found in me a better brain in explaining what is God. Direct perception. There is no question of indirect understanding, it is direct understanding. And the Vedas also advises to go to a better man, Sotriyam Brahmanishtam, one who has heard better and voice from the Vedic knowledge. And Brahman, as the result of it, he has become fully devoted to Krishna, Brahmanistan. These are the qualifications of a spiritual master. His knowledge is perfect according to the Vedic injunction, and by having that knowledge, he has become a perfect devotee of the Lord. These two things have to be seen. Then he is a spiritual master.
But there are many spiritual masters in the world. Each say
that way. You say that you have to judge. Just like when you go to purchase 2 shilling worth goods, you go to different stores. Everyone says, oh, my thing is very nice. Then you have to judge which one is best. That depends on you. If you are a fool, then somebody will cheat you. And if you are not a fool, then you know. Just like these rascals. They call themselves God. Such fools can cheat another fool only. But one who knows what is God, he will not accept it. One who knows Krishna, he will not accept him as God. He will immediately compare what you have done like Krishna or better than Krishna. Then I shall accept you. We have already our God, Krishna. Now you prove that you are better than Krishna or equal to Krishna. That he cannot. So why shall I accept him God? Why shall I accept him spiritual master? And that depends on your intelligence. If you are less intelligent, you will be cheated by this false God. So everyone has got intelligence, individuality, power of understanding. So you should try to use them, and then you can understand.
I'd like to ask, what do the scientists explain as the origin of life? Do they have any explanation how life is caused?
Oh, the scientists concern themselves with the process, not the reason. Right now, scientists are spending a tremendous amount of time duplicating this process, trying to be able to produce life in the laboratory. This is how they're saying that, thus they will be able to say, well, this is how life started in the beginning of the world. It does not, scientists don't concern themselves with why life started, just how, what method.
What do they think how it started?
Oh, they think life started by the effect of the atmosphere.
Then the atmosphere is the cause. Cause.
Yeah.
Now the next question is who created the atmosphere?
This is why I feel science. I do not feel.
They have not found out the ultimate cause. They take a process which is going in the middle way. Therefore, their science is imperfect. But our science is perfect. We have found out the ultimate cause. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radhi Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana, the cause of all causes. Therefore, our science is perfect. We have found out the cause of all causes. But the material scientists, they simply can look to the process, how it is working. Just like a child sees the machine, how it is working. But he cannot know who has produced the machine. Therefore, the child scientist, not veteran scientist.
What is the definition of science?
Perfect knowledge.
Perfect knowledge.
Is it not?
I don't know.
You do not know what is the meaning of science?
No, I don't.
Then why do you call science? How do you call this is scientific?
I can only give you my definition of science. Science is that the endeavor of human beings by which they attempt to find out why things happen and how they happen.
In that means perfect knowledge. I am saying that this rose flower is growing, but I do not know how it is growing. If I know perfectly how it is growing, that is so we know that how it is growing. Bijoham sarvabhutanam, the seed of this rose tree is Krishna. All kinds of seeds are Krishna. Therefore, from one seed you find a tree is growing from which a perfect rose of yellow color is coming, another tree, a perfect rose of red color is coming, or varieties of color is coming. The seed is different. Otherwise, the earth is the one, water is the one. But because the seed is different, therefore different plants are coming and different results are coming. But these seeds are Krishna. This is our observation. You cannot create the seed. You cannot create in your laboratory a seed of, what is that tree? Banyan tree. A small seed, very small. It contains the potency of a big banyan tree. You cannot create such seed. You create something just like you are creating vitamin tablets. You are proposing that no more eating required. You simply take some vitamin tablets. Is it not? Similarly, you create some tablet and sow it in the heart, and a big banyan tree comes. Then I accept you.
You say that the greatest knowledge that this flower, this banyan tree is Krishna. What place in the divine scheme do such great beings as Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad have?
Yes, Buddha, we accept him as incarnation, as expansion of Krishna. He is Krishna working as Buddha, Lord Buddha. Kesavadhita Buddha Sarira. He has accepted the body of Buddha. That is our conception of Lord Buddha.
And Jesus Christ and Muhammad,
Everyone.
they are all the reincarnation of Krishna.
Yes. Jad Vibhuti, anyone who is showing some extraordinary power, he is supposed to be incarnation of Krishna's energy. Jad Vibhuti mas satya, mama tejangsha sambhava. The brilliant energy, he represents the brilliant energy of Krishna. And the energy is not different from the energetic.
You say that this is a very good soundtrack when you're speaking.
Yes.
Chanting and
Yes.
rainbow.
Can a true devotee come face to face with God through the teachings of Buddha, the teachings of Christ?
Yes. Teachings of Christ, teachings of Buddha, they were meant for a particular type of man. Generally, it is meant for everyone, but especially for a particular type of man. Just like Lord Buddha, he preached ahimsa. They were a particular type of man. Lord Jesus Christ also preached a particular type of man. Thou shalt not kill. That means they were killing. Is it not? If I say, thou shalt not steal, that means you are thief, you are stealing. So, a kind of preaching among these thieves and a kind of teaching among the philosophers must be different. That is the difference. Lord Buddha is Krishna, Lord Jesus Christ was Krishna incarnation. But they were preaching to a different type of people. Therefore you find difference of Lord Jesus Christ's teaching, Buddha's teaching with Krishna's teaching. Krishna's teaching also there, which is already Buddha's teaching. But more than that. Because the persons amongst whom he was teaching, they are far, far elevated than the thieves and the rogues. That is it. It's like I am pushing on this Krishna consciousness movement. I am doing so many things which sometimes my God brothers out of envy criticize. But I know what is the circumstance, how to do it. They do not know it. I know my business. So that is their fault. They won't do the business, they'll simply criticize for his action. Find out some fault. Just like Lord Buddha was criticized by the Vedic Brahmins. Oh, you are stopping animal sacrifice? It is already in the Vedas. Because it is sacrificed, an animal is also sacrificed. So how you can stop animal sacrifice? But Lord Buddha, Nindasi Jogga Vidhe Raha Suti Jatam. Suti Jatam. In the Vedas, there is a commendation for animal sacrifice. But he began to deride. So, his business was to deride the Vedic principles. I don't care for these Vedas. Therefore, the Buddha religion was not accepted in India. He criticized the Vedic principles. In the Vedic principle, there is a commendation for animal sacrifice. And he criticized that this is not good. Don't do this. Therefore it is criticism. Vedic injunctions should be accepted as it is. You cannot criticize. Then there is no Vedic authority. So therefore, he defied Vedic authorities. As such, he was not accepted. Strictly followers of the Vedas. But he has got a different purpose. The ordinary man cannot understand. But one who is devotee, he knows. So why he has done this. Therefore they offer their obeisances. Kesavadhita Buddha Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha. A devotee does not accept the philosophy of Buddha, but accepts him as incarnation of Lord Krishna and offers obeisance. This is our position. We offer obeisances to Lord Buddha as incarnation of Krishna. Kesavadhita Buddha Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha. This is our study of Lord Buddha. Those who accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God.
Preaching among the devotees.
His preaching begins from surrendering to Krishna. Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Krishna upadesh is that Krishna is asking everyone to surrender unto him. So one who has surrendered unto Krishna, he can understand Lord Chaitanya's teaching. Jive Swarupa Nitya Krishna Da. He begins his teachings from the point when one accepts that I am the eternal servant of Krishna.
This chanting process is directed to everyone?
Yes.
Just those who...
No, everyone. By chanting, he will come to this point, when his heart will be cleansed. Then he will come to this point, to surrender to Krishna. We initiate a person, not that he is already on that stand, but we are educating him by the process to come to that stand.
Because one takes sannyas.
Huh?
Beginning when one takes sannyas initiation, it doesn't necessarily mean he's a controller of senses, is that right? Gradually he may rise to that standard.
No. Sannyas is already qualified, then we apply sannyas. The first beginning is chanting. If he follows the regulatory principles and chants 16 rounds, that is his qualification. And by that process he will come to the point of full surrender. And then we give him the second initiation. And when he is actually engaged in the service of the Lord, heart and soul, then we give him sannyas. What is that?
You have filled my cup, more than filled.
Thank you very much.
I have one question for you, Prabhupada. In Hawaii, you said that the ocean was necessary in order to make the rain fall on the land as a reservoir for fresh water, and that the salt was there to preserve the water from becoming bad.
So?
So such huge body of water is required?
Huh?
The oceans cover how much of the earth? 3/5. 3/5 of the Earth's surface is ocean. So that much is required to water 2/5 land.
No. The ocean is gradually, the water is required. Water is required. And in our India, if somebody spends extravagantly, so it is compared with water. Oh, you are spending like water.